Underrated Raw intro song by Papa Roach to kick off our show here in Manchester, England with the Pyro, and today we are here to check out the episode of Raw where DX had a bounty placed on them by Jonathan Coachman.
Welcome to Monday Night Raw!
As our main event of the evening will be John Cena vs. Umaga in a non-title encounter. D-Generation X, fittingly enough, starts out this episode with Triple H looking like Lemmy from Motorhead and Terminator Had a Butt Baby, followed by Shawn Michaels in a beanie. DX does a Dragon Ball Z mic swap and then Triple H takes the mic. I'll try to keep it brief with all the stopping and DX chants as Triple H does some crowd work before he asks, That's not me, by the way, the actual audio just sounds like that. Shawn gets the mic and continues the DX catchphrases with the cutout letters saying suck it in the crowd. Triple H mentions Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, and Eric Bischoff.
Or as he's now known on the street, Teabag.
Triple H pedigreed Eric Bischoff last week, and Big Dick Johnson would come out, and DX would shove Bischoff's head right into the abyss of Big Dick's ass. They then show the footage in slow motion. Shawn's about to puke just like me. Shawn then says he threw up in his mouth as he calls Rated RKO Siegfried and Roy, and then we hear Jonathan Coachman's music hit. Coach says forget about Edge and Orton tonight because they're getting a rematch for the World Tag Team Championships. Shawn then says that maybe Coach is going to ban DX from the building, but Coach then retorts and Coach then picks up a briefcase with 5,200 British pounds or 10,000 American bucks, and he says that he has placed a bounty on D-Generation X. Triple H says,
You cheap bastard! We're only worth $5,000 each!
Coach then says he has some guys willing to take up the offer, and he asks for a referee as we then see Mike Chioda run down to the ring first, followed by DX's 4 opponents, Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch, Charlie Haas, and Viscera. We come back from commercial and we're in the middle of our 4-on-2 handicap match as Shawn Michaels and Charlie Haas are tossing it up. Haas pushes Shawn into his corner and Lance Cade snags a tag before he gets his titties chopped in the corner. Off the ropes, Murdoch sneaks a tag and they hit their SVR09 finisher. Murdoch then gets booted in the face after his fist drop attempt. Viscera gets the tag and drops Shawn down with the Black Hole Slam and the hip swivels before he tags in Haas, and Haas can only secure it too. Shawn starts firing up after some time and chops Lance Cade's tits raw some more. Shawn then hits an enziguri for the double down. Triple H gets the hot tag and starts whipping everyone's ass except Viscera, who he just knocks off the apron. Signature facebuster from Hunter onto Cade. He clotheslines him over the top. Murdoch then joins Cade, and then Haas gets planted with the spinebuster. Shawn super kicks Viscera on the apron, and he collapses the rednecks under all that love, as Triple H then plants Charlie with the pedigree, and DX beats the odds and secures the 3.
Monday Night Raw is brought to you by Let's Go to Prison!
We see the Spirit Squad backstage, and they're hyping each other up as they look to secure that bounty. DX is nearby, and Shawn and Hunter discuss some more. Back to the ring for our next match, and we have the Highlanders, who will be taking on the remaining members of the Spirit Squad, Johnny and Kenny Dykstra. Johnny and Robbie McAllister will start this match off with an Irish whip that leads to a headbutt from Robbie. Robbie tags in Rory, and he gets a boot in the corner and the second rope crossbody. Johnny rakes the eyes and tags in Kenny before he then gets laid out with a clothesline. Kenny then soon recovers as Rory then eats the middle buckle. Kenny tags Johnny back in, and they hit a catapult splash into the corner. Tag back into Kenny with the assisted gut punch for a 2. Snake eyes into the corner from Rory. Johnny goes sailing through the middle rope as Rory then gets the hot tag to his cousin. I always thought these guys were brothers, by the way. Back body drop onto Kenny. Johnny gets a big lariat for Rory, and then Kenny eats a double drop kick, followed by a second helping to Johnny. The Highlanders look for a double reverse suplex before Johnny is able to save his tag team partner. Kenny then tosses Johnny into Rory, leading them to crash on the floor. Kenny then secures the 3 count off the small package. Johnny's pissed off about how he was used, but Kenny doesn't give a shit. A win's a win. Jerry Lawler then introduces our next segment as he is going to accept Chris Masters' Master Lock Challenge. JR reminds us that the Master Lock hasn't been broken yet as King then takes a seat and flexes. Masters then says nah and he has to warm up first. Jerry then pushes Masters after he stalls again and then takes a seat. As you would expect, Lawler gets hung out to dry in the full Nelson, but he does get some strength to throw some elbows before Masters eventually takes the King to his knees and wins his own challenge. Backstage, and Shawn Michaels is gobbling a banana as there's a knock at the door.
I'm here for the bounty.
Oh, okay.
They open the door again.
You're here for the bounty?
Yeah.
Here you go.
Huh?
It's the quicker picker upper.
Another knock, and then Eugene just runs right over the snack table and dies. Backstage with Todd Grisham, and we have WWE Women's Champion Lita.
Yeah. And that's all I got to say about that.
DX is chilling in the bathroom as Shawn is still eating some popcorn and Triple H has to take a shit. We then see that Chris Masters is in the stall to steal the bounty as the door shuts. We don't see the attack, but Triple H walks out a couple of seconds later.
Holy cow, you crapped a masterpiece!
Time for your main event, but not really, as we have 3 more matches after this one. Umaga with Armando Alejandro Estrada takes on the WWE Champion John Cena. John gets a punch and Umaga screams at him. Cena starts with the body shots in the corner, as Umaga then goes back first into the turnbuckle and eats a bulldog. He then no-sells it and then canes Cena in the mouth. Cena then gets dropped Samoan style. Cena fights out of the nerve hold and starts up the fire. He then hits the throwback and tries for the shoulder tackles, but this causes Umaga to teeter. Following the third shoulder tackle, it leads to Umaga's arms getting tied up in the ropes before Estrada appears and gets thrown into the ring. Big Show appears and chokeslams John Cena to give him the disqualification victory. Umaga and Big Show essentially just do a post-match beatdown of John, and the segment ends after Estrada breaks a cigar in Cena's face and Umaga gives him the Samoan spike. Coach is backstage and he gets jump scared by DX as Shawn then tells him to take it easy. DX says that Coach wins, and we get a vaudeville-style montage of all the people who weren't able to secure it. Coach tells DX that if they leave, they're not coming back, as Shawn tells him sayonara. He then steals the 10 grand while Triple H is talking to Coach. Coach doesn't even notice that it's been taken. Next matchup, and we got an Intercontinental Championship debacle on our hands, as Intercontinental Champ Johnny Nitro, accompanied by Melina, taking on Jeff Hardy, who is already in the ring. Jeff Patton looks disgusted as he holds the title up that just touched Johnny's gonads. Jeff whips out of a wrist lock and tosses Nitro to the floor. Johnny pulls Jeff out, Nitro eats shit, and then eats a jumping dropkick into the ring as he then gets the 10 punches in the corner on Johnny, followed by the slingshot dropkick. Jeff climbs to the top, but Nitro escapes to the outside for a timeout, but he instead gets a baseball slide and a house show dive. Back from commercial, and Jeff destroys Johnny's balls with the leg drop for a 2 count. Nitro tosses Hardy into the buckle. He then hits a springboard enziguri and only scores a 2 count before he starts raining down rights. Jeff eats the corner. Johnny then gets hung out to dry onto his nuts on the ropes for a double down. Jeff starts to come back and he hits the reverse mule kick for the kick out. Back body drop from Jeff. He then cinches a reverse alligator clutch for a really weird kick out. It was like a worm.
Frozen strawberries.
Jeff sees nobody's home off the whisper in the wind. Nitro powers Jeff up and drops him with a facebuster before Hardy gets the shoulder up. Nitro jumps off the second rope and gets caught with a sit-out powerbomb for another 2. Jeff then climbs to the top and hits the swanton, but Melina is distracting the referee.
Hey, Rev! Get away from that woman!
Jeff gets the twist of fate countered, Melina grabs Hardy's leg, and Nitro nails a hot shot to the floor. He then drops Hardy with a neck breaker, primes into position, and then hits a corkscrew moonsault, but Hardy actually kicks out of 2 and rolls over Nitro to secure the win and Jeff's 3rd Intercontinental Championship. No time to celebrate as Johnny starts the post-match attack. He drills Hardy with a DDT before he then grabs a ladder from under the ring. Johnny then straight up 2K style tosses the ladder into Jeff's face. Nitro stands the ladder up in the corner and then slams the ladder onto Jeff, which looked like a pretty cool spot. DX backstage, well, more like outside the arena as they discuss what to do with the money. They think to buy tickets, but the show is sold out. They then meet 2 scalpers outside the arena and they turn out to be Crime Time, which is hilarious.
Yo, what you need, baby? Yo, we got you uptown, downtown, all around.
All up in the grill.
What?
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. What?
Shawn says that he's got this because he, quote, Shawn starts talking like a 2006 black guy, and y'all know exactly what I mean.
Sit the shizzle, baby, come on.
Sizzle, you got.
Bam! Gee,
Okay, this segment's actually hilarious. I love all 4 of these guys.
for shizzle.
Backstage, Carlito is reading the newspaper as Tori Wilson and her friends appear and introduce themselves to Carlito. Carlito says he was just reading the sports section and definitely not looking at her hot friends in a magazine. Tori asks Carlito to come on their date, but Carlito has an early flight and so does Tori as she invites Carlito to crash and smash.
I don't snore.
Carlito getting some ass tonight, boys. That's how we like it. DX backstage doing a meet and greet in the arena. They then buy all of their own merch and start giving away free shirts, and the fans all start crowding around DX, making me feel very claustrophobic as they then start walking into the arena. Back to the ring, and we have our next matchup as WWE Women's Champion Lita will be taking on Mickie James.
Yeah!
DX is also now at ringside for the rest of the show. Shawn starts waving to Lita and accidentally clonks Hunter in the head. Triple H also bears a giant sausage. Lita has a microphone and she tells James good news and bad news. Good news is Mickie won't have one arm tied behind her back like last week, but bad news is she will have both her ankles shackled together.
Coach is nice enough to bring the jacket.
Coach then comes out and gives the shackles to our referee, who then locks Mickie together. Lita is enjoying this moment and she asks Mickey's thoughts. Mickey says after the match she'll give the shackles to Lita because everyone knows you're the one who needs to have your legs tied together. Lita slams Mickey's face into the mat and starts soccer kicking Mickey in the ribs. This match goes how you think it will. Lita then starts talking shit to DX at ringside, and Shawn somehow has more popcorn. But Lita then gets a 2 count. Lita gets near the barricade and starts arguing with DX again. Lita steals Triple H's sausage and then pushes Hunter, who then douses Lita in mustard. Lita runs into the ring and Mickey hits her in the head with the sausage. The ref didn't see because he was also blinded by mustard. Mickey takes advantage and hits the Mickey DT and wins the match. Mickey just beat the women's champion with both ankles tied together. If it were me, I would have made Mickey the champion right then and there. Also, is that not a disqualification? Let me know in the comments. DX gets startled by Edge's music as Rated RKO come down for our actual main event of the evening. Randy and Edge talk shit to DX at ringside again as Coach calls security to escort DX out of the arena. DX then sadly obliges and leaves our main event. Our main event of the evening will be Rated RKO taking on the team of Rowdy Roddy Piper and Nature Boy Ric Flair for their World Tag Team Championships. Why do I not remember this team at all? Roddy Piper gets jumped during his entrance by Rated RKO. Edge then drives a chair into Piper's ribs. Flair comes to the rescue to take out Orton. Edge then just sits Piper's head on a chair and gives him the concerto. Flair comes to Roddy's aid, but RKO just starts stomping his ass out. Edge tosses Flair into the ring and Flair chops Edge in the tits to officially start off the match. Big ass woo sign gets signed in the video as Flair then eats a back body drop. Piper is being helped up by producers to the back as this match will be a handicap match now. Flair chops Orton's tits, but Orton don't like that and starts stomping Flair in the corner. Randy runs off the ropes and clotheslines Flair to the floor. Randy slaps the dog fuck out of Flair on the barricade and tags Edge back in. Rated RKO softened Flair up for a little until Flair nails Randy right in the nuts. Randy tags in Edge, but Edge gets a few more titty chops and then gets a big back body drop. The chops are going crazy as Randy then misses a drop kick. Flair attempts the figure 4 but gets a fucked up looking spear from Edge. Edge pins Flair, scores a 3 count, and he wins his 11th and Randy's first World Tag Team Championship. During their celebration, DX crashes the party to chase down RKO, but security is getting pummeled by DX. Hey look, there's Sheamus, who gets pedigreed by Triple H to close off the episode of Raw where DX survived the bounty placed on them by Jonathan Coachman.